Internet drama, in general, it's not that big of a deal due to the anonymity and safety you have of being behind a computer screen. But when one of the people involved tried to break that boundary, that's when it goes too far. And that's what happened in the recent drama between the YouTuber Drift0r, the YouTuber 8thoughts, and his troll friend named Blue. Now this troll is the type of troll that isn't just someone who leaves mean comments, but someone who's willing to go above and beyond to get your phone number, address, and various other personal information through doxing. And when he gets this information, he intends to utilize it, which is what he did a couple nights ago when he drove over to Drift0r's house and told his friend 8thoughts to stream it on his Twitch page.
Are you really at his house? Are you really at his house?
That's his house right there, dude.
He's at Drift0r's house.
And dude, when I see stuff like this, all I can think to myself is, why would you do this when you could play Raid Shadow Legends, one of the best games on the mobile market that is now also available on PC. This game has so much going for it, tons of champions to choose from, cutting edge graphics, and a really in-depth progression system, which is what I personally liked most about the game. Probably because I was able to get that part of the game enhanced by being sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends for today's video. I was able to use 3 ancient shards to unlock the Sentinel, the Berserker, and the Tyrell for a very well-rounded composition. And once you get a composition that good, you can challenge yourself to your edge in the ongoing tournaments, compete against the entire Raid community while fighting the Spider's Den, Ice Golem's Peak, the Almighty Fire Knight, or the Notorious Dragon. And now in Raid Patch 1.15 coming in May, you'll be able to compete in the brand new Arena Tournament. Earn points according to your tier and win awesome rewards in the local and global tournament. If you click my link in the description below, you'll be able to have an advantage by starting off with the Executioner, as well as some free keys, shards, and coins. Click right here in the game to receive the rewards, but you better act fast because it's only available for the next 30 days. So yeah, if you do want those advantages and want to help out my channel, be sure to click the link in the description below. Thank you so much to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring me and other YouTubers. We really do appreciate it. What we don't appreciate though, is people who don't like us driving up to our house in real life with a gun in their car.
All right, folks, if you're just catching on, this is Blue, the #1 troll in the world. Apparently, he drove 4 hours across Texas to go to Drift0r's house because he knows where he lives, and he asked me to film this, so I'm filming it, and we're streaming it right now. So, like I said, I didn't tell him to do this. I got nothing to do with this. He was going to live stream himself.
Drift0r's awake. Drift0r's awake. He just tweeted 9 minutes ago about his dog.
Oh,
so
my
they're
God.
in the house. They know about the storm, but they don't know about me. I'm the man. Yeah, nah, look, man, like, this dude, I just wanted to come over here and, like, I just wanted to apologize to him and all that. Look, I gotta also inform you, I do have a gun in my center console, but, look.
Is it registered to you?
Well, you don't have to register a gun in the
I'm just asking you a question.
Yeah, no, it's not registered.
Now, for full transparency's sake, this did happen in Texas, and people in Texas generally have guns in their car, regardless of where they're going and what they're doing. So I don't think Blue was going to use his gun on Drift0r, but I do think this point is important when factoring in why Drift0r would want to call the cops on this guy. So after this live stream happened, 8thoughts wanted to get out ahead of the drama by making his own statement on his YouTube channel, and he did so in a now deleted video titled, "Arrested and Questioned for Trolling Drift0r." This is what he had to say.
And I will say that I probably shouldn't have streamed this as well. He was there already. Blue was going to be there already. He was streaming it already on his Discord. And I figured, like, hell, I got to see what's going on. The fans want to see what's going on my Twitch stream. So I was like, I'm just going to stream it. And like I said, I told Blue multiple times not to go while streaming as well. Told him, like, he probably shouldn't be doing this. And it was just going to roll on as it was going to roll on. And I got caught up in the moment as well because I actually fully admit I enjoyed seeing them get arrested and the cops questioning me and questioning him, as you'll see later on. And the whole fiasco and spectacle unfolding with the 1,000 people who were watching the stream with me. And I can't deny it. It was hilarious at the time watching it, but we have to make it perfectly clear before this video starts. No matter what the reasoning is, even if your intentions are good or bad, no one should ever go to a YouTuber's house. No one should ever try to confront somebody else on the internet that they've met from the internet or know from the internet without an invite. It's just a no bueno move, man. Drift0r is his own worst enemy and is in fact partially to blame, if not fully to blame, for the trolling that Blue has been doing to him. So anyways, like I said, though, there's attention turned to Drifter for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe because Drifter is a prick to me and has threatened and doesn't know how to take jokes and has threatened to sue me for my trolling of him because, you know, he has, like I've proven so many times, self-admittedly talked about how his testosterone is at a 95-year-old level man.
Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I thought I'd do a follow-up on my old video about my embarrassing health problem. If you happen to not catch that one, or you're a new subscriber since then, in short, about 8 months to a year ago, I was diagnosed with low testosterone, and it wasn't really like low as in lower than average testosterone, but more like almost zero testosterone, essentially that of a 95-year-old man.
He's dressed up in drag and has videos up on YouTube, or a video up on YouTube of him dancing around in women's clothing, and we've made fun of his gender.
Hey boys, how do you like my new look? I honestly think I look way sexier than I thought I would, and I feel very free right now. Have you ever seen?
But that's as far as I've ever gone. I've just made jokes, like online jokes, talking about how he, you know, even is self-admitted, like I said, he looks feminine, he has low testosterone, and has dressed up as a woman before in the past. And I have even called Drifter myself. I got his number from Dan, aka Blue. I've called Drifter like 4 or 5 times on stream, live. People have seen it recorded on Twitch, asking him like, hey, it's 8 Thoughts here. This is not a troll. I'm being sincere. If you come on the stream right now, Blue's here. He'll talk to you. We can clear the air, and no one will bother you. Like, you just have to befriend him. Just talk to him. I did the same thing. Like, once you get to know Blue and he stops bothering you, the kid's a cool dude. Like, he's funny as hell. I have to say, I like the guy. He's my friend. And I was saying the same thing would happen to you. Like, if you just get to know him, ask Tabor Hill. Blue's not a bad dude. But if you just talk to him, hang out, get to know him, he'll leave you alone. And I've told Drifter that many a times, and Drifter ignores it. I don't know. He just, you know, he's his own worst enemy.
Now, before I read out the tweets regarding this situation, I would like to give my own opinion on this clip, specifically the last minute of it, where 8 Thoughts mentions how he continuously called up Drifter on his real-life phone in order to try and get him and Blue on the same page so they can make up. Think about this from Drifter's perspective. This guy, Blue, doxed him in order to get his phone number, then gave that phone number to another YouTuber, and now they're using that phone number to ask him to apologize and make up with the Doxxer. And the fact that 8 Thoughts tries to pin it as Drifter's fault for not wanting to do that is just absurd to me. I think it's stupid to say that Drifter is his own worst enemy for not wanting to make peace with his Doxxer. Anyways, the story got a lot of coverage and it caused 8 Thoughts to say some stuff on Twitter. The first tweet reads out, "That was insane. Blue went to Drifter's house to apologize and say hello, and I was streaming it. Drifter called the cops, and Blue got detained, and we streamed the whole thing. Then they took him and me while streaming to the police for question. Then the police died during questions. I think Blue got arrested, or is still detained. Haven't heard from him. I know people like Keemstar have been waiting for a moment like this to make me look bad, and I don't care. I streamed it, I probably shouldn't have, and got caught up in the moment and was having a great time with the spectacle with the other 1,000 people watching. Oh well, rip. I'm not responsible for another grown man's actions. He doesn't listen to me. Told this dude multiple times to stop the trolling. Told him not to go. And I'll fully admit right now, it was funny as hell to me he got arrested, and watching it all unfold was entertaining as fuck. Guilty. Tons of fans go to YouTubers' houses. It's wrong and an invasion of privacy. They don't call the cops on them and act like pussies. Drifter has and is overreacting to this whole situation, and has made it worse by A. challenging Blue, B. false claims, C. ignoring calls to end beef. Also, the fact that Blue had a gun isn't even a point to argue. It's Texas. He always has a gun with him every time he goes out. It's not illegal. It was stupid to have it with him because it looks bad, but on video from the jump, you all see his intentions were to end the problem. I'll say it one last time. My fault for streaming the Blue and his shit show last night, but it was just too spicy to resist. I love a good car crash. Drew responds to 8 Thoughts by saying, "The news live streams police chases any chance they get. Literally in fucking helicopters. And if the person dies at the end, they'll sell twice as many ads." 8 Thoughts quote tweets this and says, "Facts. They are sensationalizing a crime with 100 times more viewers than I had. So, I'm not as bad as KTLA News in Los Angeles. Blue wasn't arrested for going to Drifter's house. No crime was committed. He was charged for cyberbullying according to official documents. People think I'm working with Blue to troll Drift0r. I am not. I have barely any correspondence with Blue about Drift0r. In fact, most of my DMs are about other things, and I have told Blue numerous times to leave Drift0r alone. Drift0r hates me for my YouTube jokes and is playing dirty. He then shows a screenshot of a DM conversation he had with Blue. The first message is from Blue and it reads out, "No, that never happened. He's lying. In fact, he called in his wife just to tell her the lie, so that way she can pick up on it." 8thoughts responds, "Okay, and on the record, how many times have I told you to leave him alone? Honestly, be honest." Blue replies, "And don't expose him, he called her on stream, you can skip a little further. I'm not counting neither. Doesn't matter what you say, lol, I fuck with him whenever I want." 8thoughts responds, "Where does the part with the wife come in? I just recorded the whole thing." Blue replies, "Right after he kicks me out a little further, he calls her in, and he tells her about it." 8thoughts then replies, "Okay, I'm watching. What a fucking nut. He's either psychotic or a lying piece of shit." In the tweet showing this, 8thoughts specifically highlights the message where he says, "Leave him alone, honestly, be honest," and the reply where Blue says, "I fuck with him whenever I want." 8thoughts continues to talk about the situation on Twitter by saying, "People making decisions and videos based on biased reporting. Blue has been released from prison and charges have been dropped." Jordan responds to him by saying, "Just waiting on trans Drift0r to make a video about the whole thing blowing everything out of proportion." Comment Mike responds, "How about you schoolgirls get off his dick? He wouldn't have to make a video in the first place. You retards seek him out. Also, it's not an overreaction. The bald idiot is enabling some mentally ill troll who went to someone's house with a gun on him." 8thoughts quote tweets this and says, "He didn't go to somebody's house with a gun. He was in town buying a car. It's Texas, everyone has guns. It's not illegal. He has that gun with him everywhere. He was streaming the incident and I just piggybacked the stream. I told him not to do it, but if he was, let's see it." Yo Scarce, thanks for reporting and implying by leaving out the whole story I sent Blue to Drifters with a gun and I'm responsible. I know some of your fans are dumb, but bro, be a bit more responsible in your videos and serious matters. It's as bad as me streaming the incident. Scarce then responds, "I just said you streamed it. I even showed multiple comments/posts of you saying you weren't involved, and how Blue bringing a gun was no big deal. You are probably reading viewers' outrage, but we already spoke on this in DMs." The Quartering reacts to the situation by saying, "Streaming a lunatic showing up at a YouTuber's house with a gun isn't a crime. Engaging directly with that lunatic, encouraging them, collecting super chats while doing it, isn't a crime either, but it sure does make you look like a fucking moron. Deleting said stream, apology, and all clips doesn't look great either. Yikes, dude. You went too far." Hazy Blaze responds to the Quartering by saying, "To be fair, Jeremy, 8thoughts did say the money on that stream was going to Blue, which is why I think Blue took it a little too far with the gun and shit to get more super chat money." The Quartering then quote tweets this and says, "Holy shit, this is even worse." 8thoughts responds to the Quartering's tweet by saying, "It's Texas. The gun is irrelevant and you are pushing the narrative the kid is violent, and went there to do harm. He has a gun. It's Texas. It's extremely common for people to have guns in their cars. He went there to apologize, and yes, streaming it was a bad idea." The Quartering then quote tweets this and says, "I'm not pushing any narrative, man. You were actively encouraging this kid who was carrying a gun to go to another man's house who was also armed. Would it be hilarious if they shot each other? How many super chats would be worth it?" 8thoughts then responds, laughing my fucking ass off, "You're lying again, dude. I told him not to go. Thanks." The Quartering then replies, "Did you offer to give him the super chat/tips?" 8thoughts then replies, "For his bail when he got arrested. It was a laugh. Within 10 minutes of streaming, he got detained. It was over." The Quartering then quote tweets him and says, "Right, so you were saying the kid you were friendly with and communicate with had financial reason to be there as well? This isn't looking great for you, dude. Hope everything works out with the cops tonight, though. What a hoot." 8thoughts then responds, "You are really twisting this, and it's bullshit, man. I am not going to talk with you anymore when you are being dishonest here. The stream started. We were laughing that he actually showed up. Cops detained him. People started donating and using their messages to save for Blue's bail." Mr. Cole then responds, "So all is good because no one got shot? Even when it was a real possibility that it might have happened? You'd be a liar if you said the thought didn't cross your mind that someone may be seriously injured or dead by egging that dude on." He then quote tweets Cole and says, "There was no possibility of anyone getting shot. Before the stream, Blue told me he just wanted to talk and apologize in person and it'd be funny to film. Said if Drift0r was mad and asked him to leave, he'd leave. Didn't want to go to jail. These accusations are bullshit. Philip Grove responds to 8 Thoughts by saying, all I'm getting from this is 8 Thoughts is basically Trump right now with a bunch of fake news clowns buzzing around his nuts. That's the life of a true boss. All their whining just makes him more powerful. 8 Thoughts quote tweets him and says, sounds about right. Going back to the tweet where the quartering says he's not pushing any narrative, 8 Thoughts makes another response to it saying, and I guess you know he had that gun too? You were just taking this opportunity to smear me, which is expected, so go at it. Don't really care. I'll still be here tomorrow and the next day and making videos. The quartering quote tweets this and says, by your own words, it's Texas, everyone has guns. So I guess you did know he had one. You have also admitted several times to the fact. But yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't be, man. You made a mistake. It happens. The quartering then continues to talk about the situation by saying, as 8 Thoughts now deleted all the clips of him egging on Blue, his own personal little troll, there were plenty of damning, engaging directly, egging him on to show up at Drift0r's house with a gun no less. He then shows a comment someone left on 8 Thoughts video about the situation that says, to be honest, I don't care. Also, the Chewbacca quartering or whatever he's called is trying to use you for clout. Poor homeless loser. The quartering comments on this by saying, I am 100% not surprised this is 8 Thoughts fan base. The same people who thought it was so fucking epic, cool, wrecked pwn to live stream your own personal troll showing up to another YouTuber's home getting detained by police thankfully before someone got shot. 8 Thoughts continues to talk about the situation on his timeline by saying, talked to Scarce and we discussed the situation, and we both have a very similar understanding of the situation, so take that as want. I'm going to keep it real. This has been really stressful. My intentions are to make jokes and tease. I don't mean to harm anyone. I truly do believe Blue wasn't going to harm anyone, but I'm a fucking idiot for streaming it for multiple reasons. So that's about it for 8 Thoughts tweets on this situation. He did make a follow-up response video to this after the original response video got deleted, but it pretty much just repeats everything we already read off from his Twitter timeline. But if you do want to see that, I will leave the link to it in the description below. But now let's actually see what Blue had to say about the situation on his Twitter. His first tweet after coming back from being arrested reads out, they charged me with impersonation? Fuck bro, laughing my fucking ass off. I can't say much, but remember, they did take my phone, and they want to go through my shit. The detective was a very angry man. Not sure if his wife's boyfriend took away his Switch or something for that night. Either way, he's very unfair, and Plano Police Department are unprofessional and slimy as fuck. Jeez. I was legitimately there to apologize. I can't stress this enough. Some people just don't have thick skin. Meanwhile, the entire time I was locked up, I had no contact with my family, so they legit thought I got killed. They were crying blood out, arrested me for traffic violations just to get a warrant prepped. Detective Dick Cheese got mad at me because I told him I won't tell you anything because I don't want to incriminate myself. He's like, this will look bad in court. The quartering then tweets out, I was just there to apologize. Also, on April 3rd, linking a video that would suggest that Blue was at Drift0r's house previously. Unfortunately, the video was removed, but I was told that Blue never visited Drift0r's house prior to this new situation, and Blue reconfirmed it when he quote tweeted the quartering saying, the quartering does no research. He's just trying so hard to get me into some shit. Props to Scarce for actually listening and being a real homie like a news channel should be. Speaking of Scarce, he tweeted out his video covering the situation and someone named Caves responded to him by saying, no one seems to bring up the fact that Drift0r said Blue swatted him and sent a hitman when Plano police confirmed it as false and no swatting happened at Drift0r's house. Scarce responds to him by saying, yes, this is what makes no sense to me in the story. Everyone I talked to except Drift0r says this never happened. Blue responds to him by saying, I second this. The detective tried to brush it off too. He then quote tweets Scarce and says, not exactly sure if risking someone's life and attempting to murder them is still trolling. Neither do I think recording yourself doing something wrong is a good idea neither. So I had a gun? It's for my safety. If I was there to hurt someone, why would I do it in front of 700 people? The penalties for online harassment through impersonation under Texas Penalty Code 33.07b is generally charged as a Class A misdemeanor. The crime is classified as a felony of the 3rd degree if the defendant acts with the intent to solicit a response by emergency personnel. So they are alleging that I made an account to say racist things to make the dude seem bad in front of his sponsors. But the law states it's only a felon if I swatted him using his name? The details are very open-ended. Going into some of the responses Blue got, Rip Hunter responds to Blue's tweet saying they charged him with impersonation by saying, "Wonder if they enjoyed the amazing content from Fortnite, Blue. Lol." Blue responds, "This is why I keep pictures of African American gentlemen with penises on my phone." Lol responds to the tweet where Blue says he was there to apologize by saying, "Do you still have your gun?" Blue responds, "They seized it." Lol then responds, "Dude, you shouldn't have went alone. Should have asked for a lawyer or waited and come with one." Blue then responds, "I knew I was gonna get arrested either way. They let me off too easy. They would have followed me and waited for a violation or something. They got dirty tricks." Kojak OP responds to Blue's tweet where he says the police department is slimy as fuck and says, "That's Texas cops for you, bro. They are fucking pricks and ass backwards. It's guilty till proven innocent for them. Hang in there, brother." Blue then responds, "The detective must have not had his butt plug for the day." Broadly Bradley responds by saying, "OnlyFans will make you money fast. Lol." Kojak then replies, "Some dudes got a lot of pride though, and these detectives sure do have a big ass head when it comes to their ego. They want to be cowboys and feel like the heroes they never are." Blue then responds, "I can't say anything for sure, but the fact that someone got my info just like that and knows what we talked about in the meeting, which isn't listed in the records, shows someone isn't doing their job professionally. Need to get an investigation." The detective kept using that I had a loaded gun on me during the meeting, more like interrogation, but it isn't listed as a charge because it's legal. This detective is too sus for me. Mega John responds to the tweet where Blue says Detective Dick Cheese by saying, "We all know that as soon as the connection dropped, you and the gamer detective went and got a dub on Fortnite." Blue then responds, "Fortnite detective." Armslock says, "It won't go to court because you won't incriminate yourself." Blue then responds, "Ha ha ha ha, right." Dragon Clone says, "Isn't that the right to remain silent?" Blue then responds, "Remember, he didn't want me to stream, lol." Michael responds to Blue's quote tweet of Scarce by saying, "If Drift0r thought being trolled about being a tranny was bad, lying about hiring a hitman, were you able to get back to work? Hopefully it hasn't impacted your job." Blue then responds, "Luckily, I have a badass boss who gives no fucks." Michael then responds, "Good to hear. Drift0r needs mental help along with his boyfriend the Quartering." Caves says, "All the morons be dodging the fact that the gun is legal." Blue then responds, "Yeah, countless times where I nearly got robbed. People don't know the area I'm in is infested with this type of shit." Blue then tweets out, "If you feel like donating and it wouldn't put you in a bad position, here's the GoFundMe. Only donate if you truly feel comfortable doing so, please." Joni Tones responds to him by saying, "You have a court date and all that?" Blue then responds, "Not yet. They didn't give me one. They said an attorney will give me a call. Not sure if I'm going to be using the court-appointed one, since the case is a little more complicated." Blue then tweets out, "Even though it's a shitty situation, and I might have been a goof, I am truly grateful for at least having people who are supporting my case. Thanks for the GoFundMe donations. It's truly lifting some pressure off me and it helps a lot. Thank you, studs." Joe Blow then responds, "Ooga ooga, send me money." To which Blue replies, "Yeah, pretty much." And that is about it for the tweets regarding this situation. I definitely don't think Blue should have went to Drift0r's house, and I definitely do think Blue is in the wrong, as well as 8 Thoughts for streaming it. But if Drift0r really is making all these false allegations of Blue, that's pretty fucked up on his part as well. Although I do understand him being paranoid, considering that Drift0r has doxed him, and then showed up to his house in real life. Either way, if there's any updates on this situation, I will be sure to let you know on this YouTube channel, so definitely be sure to subscribe with notifications on, and also follow me on Twitter to keep up to date with stuff even quicker. Thank you so much to my channel members for supporting the channel, in particular Josh Pescator and Mr. Personality, who have both donated $30 a month. They have pretty cool YouTube channels if you'd like to check those out. Also, don't forget to try out Raid Shadow Legends by clicking the link in the description below. It would help me out a lot. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.